and I believe we're set. So, Rafiu, you can take the floor.
Thank you, Patrick. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our inaugural meeting of the Howard County Tax Credit and Deferral Commission. My name is Rafiu Ihile. I'm the Director of Finance for the county. I think I'll call the meeting to order. Marcellus, if you move to the next slide to share the agenda. The meeting is now in session. I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda. I think the agenda is clear. So in case anybody have anything to add or take out,
I'll move approval of the agenda, because technically you have to move it and second it before you discuss if you're going to add something to it.
Yes. Thank you.
So I moved.
Any second?
I second.
I can second.
Thank you. Okay, Lisa second. So do we need to make changes to the agenda? Discussion? We're hearing on. All in favor of approving the agenda? Say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing on, the agenda is approved. Now we can go into introduction of members. So Marcellus, if you go to the next slide, that will show the names, and I will start with me. Again, I'm Rafiu Ihile, Director of Finance for Howard County, and the chair of the Tax Commission. So we'll go by the name list here, Ellen.
Oh, okay. I'm Ellen Flynn Giles. I am indeed a Howard County resident. I serve on the Spending Affordability Committee and on the League of Women Voters with Fran, and on a variety of other things that have involved budget and finance and policy and that kind of thing. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Ellen. Fran?
Hi, everyone. I'm on the board of the League of Women Voters. My primary job is advocacy, but I come to this group, I believe, because of my work with the Office on Aging. I chaired the Age-Friendly Housing Group 1 and 2, and really worked on some of this legislation. So I am familiar with it.
Thank you. I don't know if Jonathan is on yet. If not, then we move to Ophelia.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ophelia Ross. I serve as the administrator of Howard County's Office on Aging and Independence, and it's good to see some familiar faces. Hi, Fran, and looking forward to working collaboratively. Thank you.
Thank you. I know Harley's son is out today. She has an emergency, but she has Brooke Mamo representing her. So, Brooke, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brooke Mamo. I'm the Deputy Budget Administrator, sitting in for Holly's son.
Thank you, Brooke. Lisa?
Hi, I'm Lisa Terry with the Howard County Office of Veterans and Military Families. And Jonathan Branch, who is not here, he actually is a previous member of the Commission for Veterans and Military Families as well.
Oh, good. Thank you. Now we can go ahead and if we go to the next slide, because we do have some staff members that will help in moving this commission forward. So we'll start with Department of Finance, Angie Moore. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Angie Moore. I'm the Deputy Director, one of the Deputy Directors for Finance, and I oversee the property tax credits. And I look forward to working with everyone to make improvements. Thank you.
Thank you. Angie Price?
Hi, everyone. My name is Angie Price. I'm the other Deputy Director of Finance, and I oversee the Office of Financial Services within Finance. Thank you.
Thank you. Brenna?
Hi, everybody. I'm Brenda Pinos. I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Finance, and I support Angie Moore on the revenue side and tax credit.
Thank you. Marcellus, you're on. You're running the show on behind the scenes for us. Marcellus, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Marcellus Barley, and Assistant Director, Miss Executive Assistant. So yeah.
Thank you. I know, Ophelia, I know you didn't add anybody yet, but you are welcome to bring folks in as we go through this. So once you have a name you want to send to us, we'll add them on as staff to help with moving, providing materials and all as we move forward the commission. So Office of Law, we have Kristen Perry. Kristen?
Hi, I'm Kristen Perry. I'm the Deputy County Solicitor for Howard County, and finance is one of my main clients. So I do a lot on tax credits.
Thank you. And then the Budget Office?
Yeah,
we have
again, I'm Brooke Mammo, Deputy Budget Administrator, and we plan to have Paul McIntyre. I'm not sure if he's on.
I'm here.
Currently.
Yeah.
Oh, you're okay.
I'm here.
All right, so
I'm Paul McIntyre, and I'm one of the budget analysts. I work with finance on monitoring revenues and the tax credits, and I also help with the Spending Affordability Committee.
And also, she's on vacation this week, but going forward, we'll have Lori Bookman, who's another analyst in our office that will be attending these meetings.
Thank you. And I think that is the end of the introduction. Is there any other person online? I know we've heard from Patrick already, Patrick Chung. So Patrick, if you want to introduce yourself again, in case people who are on need to know who are the folks on. So,
Sure.
Patrick.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick Chung. I am with our Department of Technology and Communication Services with the county, also known as our IT department. And I will be joining these calls just to ensure that everything technically speaking is working, as well as being streamed to YouTube and recording. And so I'll be here in the background, but I'm officially not part of this committee. So back to you, sir.
No. But I wanted the committee to know that these things are not just happening in a vacuum, that you are here helping us. Is there anybody on the meeting that are attendees that we need to be aware of?
Nope. Everyone that is on the call are all panelists.
Thank you. All right. I think the next item on the agenda is the charge of the commission. So, Marcellus, if you want to put up the executive order that was issued by the county executive.
There we go.
Thank you. So yeah, there's Executive Order 2026-11. It was issued on July 22nd, 2026. I know we are going to have all of these put in the SharePoint where members of the commission will have access to reviewing all materials and all. So now we know the executive order. So Marcellus, I'm going to bother you again to switch to go back to that the presentation and just to look at the charge, the summary of the charge that the commission is supposed to be dealing with. There are three main items that we are supposed to be looking at. Marcellus, are you able to switch us to the presentation? Well, while you're switching that, I can go ahead and just share with the committee that one of the main charges is to review all tax credits and deferrals offered to older adults, elderly, disabled individuals, and military and retired military. That's our number one charge, to review all the tax credits, just to make sure that we know the impact this is the tax credits are having on the county, and how we can do what we can do to make sure that everyone is taken care of. Marcellus, can you switch?
Can you not see the PowerPoint?
No, you're still seeing the executive order.
One moment.
You might want to stop sharing, and there you go. Thank you. And so, yeah, that's the first charge, and I know there's a lot of work that we'll have to do, but we are not going to do all of that, any of that today. The goal is just to know what the charges are for us, and then we'll start pulling information together at our next meeting to start preparing for presentation. And I think the second charge is to make recommendations on any changes to those credits and deferrals, which is really why we have the folks we have on this commission, because this is tailored towards our elderly population, our senior citizens. I strongly believe that we should do something for them. We are doing a lot, but again, we've had quite a discussion at last budget cycle, and where we said the county executive was going to set up a commission to review this, and it makes sense to have folks who are impacted to be part of this conversation, and we welcome any conversation from folks outside who wants to come chime in or share anything with us that will help us as we delegate on some of these recommendations. And I think the last and final charge of the three is to make recommendations on ways the county can better advertise and educate the public about these tax credits and deferrals. I know we have quite a few. In the county, we have almost 30 tax credits that we offer, but I'm not, is on our website, but I don't know if everybody knows all the credits that we have, and that's going to be one of our functions. So once we have all the tax credits put out, we'll discuss it, and we'll hopefully wait for recommendations on how we can do a better job on educating our public about all the tax credits we have, not just the three that we're going to be making a serious recommendation on. I think if we have them, we should make sure that our citizens, our residents are aware of them. It's the right thing to do, so we can see how we can help make Howard County as great as it's always been. So any questions, conversation so far on this, the three charge we have for the commission?
So a few, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead, but would finance be able to provide us a list of the individual credits that are within the scope of this mandate, like a description, maybe a copy of the legislation or a description?
Yes. In fact, the press release does detail all the legislations that are affecting the three main ones that we're going to be discussing. But the goal at our next meeting is that finance will be making a presentation of all tax credits, just to show what we have, especially all the ones we've had, and then the three ones that we're actually going to be looking into in details. We're going to show when right from inception to date. We're going to show, do a presentation on all three from inception to date. I think of all three, the oldest we have is 2007. So we're going to go through all of that, Brooke. Yes.
Okay.
Jumping ahead, but yes, that's the main core of the commission. We have to know exactly what we're looking at, We have to see the entire population of all the credits, the impact in terms of what we are giving out in terms of credit, and then to look at the three that is affecting our seniors and how we can help improve that. To look at all of that holistically, because it's tough to have a conversation on just three without looking at the impact on all the others. So yes, we'll be doing that. That will be our next meeting. I think that meeting will be finance will be presenting on the tax credits, and budget will be presenting something about our revenues. That way, so the commission knows what we're looking at and what that means to our revenue base. I think it makes it easier for her to have a good conversation. There are going to be great ideas. Are we going to be able to do all of them? We don't know. That's why we're here. So we'll be discussing that. Any other comments, questions?
Yes, I have a question. Is there a way that we could get the data as it relates to individuals that meet eligibility but are not enrolled in a tax credit? Is there a way for us to quantify that in some way? Because it can help target our outreach as well.
Yes. Yeah, we'll pull some information. So we're going to pull some information to see how we can pull that data. Yes, we should have them. But folks who are sending the application in, I think we don't track that, but we'll talk to the team. But those who are applying online, we can track when an application is denied. So we know that they felt they were eligible for some reason, they didn't meet the qualification, and so they were not eligible. But we do track those. But we do both now. Some people mail the application in, some fill it out online. And so we take both. We want to make sure that we are accounting for everyone. But we'll find the ways to track those data and provide them. But thank you. Those are kind of the information we know we need to prepare for, because this first meeting is just to know what kind of presentation materials do we need to bring in front of the commission, and that will help our conversation. Go ahead, Fran. Fran, you're muted, but yes, go ahead.
It seems to me that we would also need to know what was the original intent of the legislation in 2005, 2007, so that we know, okay, is that still a need? Did we need it? Do we need to do something else? I mean, I'm not quite sure where it will take us, but knowing original intent and then what was the result, which is the finance part, will help us in terms of any changes we'd like to make.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's a good point too. So, and I think this will help as we begin to look at information that we need to bring forward in terms of either presentation or just materials. So, yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. Brooke, you had something?
No. I was going to say, just agreeing, that's an excellent point. I mean, I spent 18 years working for Baltimore City, and they went through a phase of, passing a tax credit like a bunch every year, seemed like it. And I think after a while, the original intent is forgotten. And it's just something you've given, and it just seems to continue. Historically, we don't go back to see, what was our intent? Are we achieving it? Do we need to make any changes? Or if the tax credit is, may no longer be needed. So you just have to understand what the intent was before you can make any kind of recommendations to, for any changes. So that's an excellent point.
Yeah. And one of the things that I'll add at this junction is that the commission is supposed to deliver its report by November 2nd of this year. So the way we've tried to schedule this meeting, with the exception of next week, because most of us are going to be out, is that because of it's still summer, but we're going to have weekly meetings. But the goal is to try and shorten the meeting to an hour or so that way we can have really deliberate a discussion and then focus on the ideas before we start thinking about what the recommendations will be. That's the goal. Yeah. Any other comments, concerns, questions on this charge?
I just want to interject and say I believe Jonathan has joined via phone. He was having some technical issues.
Oh, thank you. Jonathan, welcome. Thank you for
Yes,
being here,
I'm here.
for making the effort. Yeah. So if you want to introduce yourself, we do have Jamal too on. So Jonathan, if you want to introduce yourself to the rest of the team.
Okay. My name is Jonathan Branch, and I'm a resident of Columbia, Howard County, former member of the Veterans Commission for Veterans and Military Families, active on the Democratic Central Committee, and also part of the Inner Arbor Trust. And I work at Walter Reed as a registered nurse. That's about it.
Thank you.
Interested in what this commission is going to do.
Thank you. So I don't know when you joined, but what we've been doing is just going through the agenda and trying to bring everybody up to speed. We've done introduction. We are now at the charge of the commission, which is where we are. There are 3 charges here that we think the commission should be working on. Is review all tax credits, make recommendation on those credits, and then make recommendations on how we can better advertise and educate the public on these credits and deferrals. Jamal, I know you are
great.
on too. Yeah, thank you. Jamal, you want to introduce yourself as well? Because I know you're on. Sorry.
Sure. Thank you, Rafiu. I'll be popping in periodically. Obviously, I'm not a member on the as part of the executive order, but I want to thank all of you for participating in this important task to review where we are with our tax credits and deferrals. I've obviously, some of you I know much better than others. Others I've met through the phone and had discussions with you, but I work as a Deputy Chief Administrative Officer under Dr. Ball's office. And again, just happy that you guys are able to serve, and thank you to Rafi for chairing this, and looking forward to the recommendations that we'll see in early November. So thank you all.
Thanks, Jamal. Marcellus, if you don't mind, go to the next slide so we can highlight the 3 credits. That is really what we are going to be making recommendations on. But however, we're going to review all tax credits that are available to the county. But we are going to be working on these 3 main ones. These are the 3 that actually affect our aging population and our veterans. So, and the first one is our senior tax credit. And the senior tax credit has some criteria. One, you have to be 65 by June 30th of that year. So, and then you can apply for it. That is a combination of household income and, of course, the federal poverty guidelines. And I think this was the first one that we made changes to early this year because since inception in 2007, no changes were made. The net worth of the individuals applying for it was just $500,000 and remained that for almost 10 years. So we made the changes here. And what we did was we didn't only just make the change, we kind of used the CPI to bring it to date. And every year we're going to be looking at the CPI to make sure that we're increasing it. And when we say net worth, it does not include the personal property where you reside. That's excluded. But it's your net worth of what your entire portfolio is that we're looking at. And then, of course, there is an income requirement, which is tied to the federal poverty guidelines. You can make more than, for this year, that one is equally tied to the federal poverty guideline, which may change every year. But this year is $108,200. So, and that's exactly what we've been looking at. So your net worth is $827,200. That's net worth, which excludes your residence. And then, of course, your income must not exceed the $108,200. So that's the first one. Of course, the tax credit is 25% of the county portion of the tax. So you can see it's very substantial. And we believe these are folks who are earning these definitely do need a huge break because there's no denying Howard County is a great county and is equally an affluent county, so it's not as cheap as others. So we're proud of that, but we want to be able to help everybody. And the next one is aging in place. Aging in place is almost the same as senior tax credit, but the difference here is you have to be you still have to be 65 years old by June 30th, so that's the same. But here you have to live. The current legislation that we have in place states that you have to have lived in your home for 30 plus years. So which means you have to have lived in one home for 30 years for you to get that credit. And if you are retired from a uniform personnel, you're equally qualified. If you're active, and we have all of that, but the range it ranges from 75 to 90% for surviving spouse. And I think the duration for these is that we only give this to you for 10 years. That's the current legislation. So those are some of the stuff we'll be discussing later. Is 10 years too much? Is 10 years too little? So those are conversations that the commission will be looking into. And then, of course, we want to look at it holistically from the impact it's going to have on other programs and stuff the county embarks upon. And this one is 20% tax credit if you're eligible. And if you see, the difference here is that there is no income requirement. You just have to be 65 and live in your home for 30 years. You qualify. You get 20% tax credit on the county's portion. So if you are making $1 million a year, you can still qualify for this. So, but we'll be looking at it and equally having a conversation about everything so we can make better recommendation that is going to be good for all our seniors and the county as well. And the third one is the tax deferral. This one is kind of is unique in the sense that one, you have to be 65 old and permanently or totally disabled. But what this does is that when you apply for it, it doesn't say you're not going to pay your taxes. You just defer. Every year, the year you apply for it becomes your base. Then every year, if your assessment goes up, that's the difference between your base and the new assessment, the new increase is deferred. So that one is deferred. But however, when you no longer apply for the credit, we will send you a bill to pay the taxes that were deferred. Or if you transfer the home, which means if you sell it or anything, we'll ask for those taxes to be paid back. And I think it's just supposed to give our folks who are living in those homes and they have this disability to be able to defer it. So when they do decide to sell their home or transfer it, then we can collect those taxes that were deferred back. I think that's the simplest highlight I can give, but we'll be talking more in depth on all of these three at our next meeting when the finance will present more details of the entire tax credits that we offer, and we specific focus on these three tax credits. I think that's really what we have in terms of our charge. Now we'll be talking about next steps later. But Marcellus, any questions, concerns? Hearing none, Marcellus, yes, can go to the next slide. So I know to be effective with this commission is always nice to have a vice chair. So I was like we approved the agenda and making recommendation that we select somebody or nominate somebody to be vice chair to help move this chart forward. You can nominate yourself or you can nominate somebody to be that. And specifically, I would say I'm looking at the three members of our the residents. That is Fran, Ellen, and Jonathan. So if one of you could volunteer or nominate one, that would be highly appreciated. I know you all have a lot that you're doing. We still want you to help us move this forward.
I'm willing to do it if no one else is jumping forward.
Well, I'd be willing to do it if I could see what was going on. I'm kind of blind right now.
I know.
but certainly, what are the duties of the vice chair?
Well, that's what we're going to end up defining. But I think one of the things that so since we know our main charge is to have our conversation here, one is if I'm not able to make it, the vice chair will definitely lead the meeting. And two, when it comes to drafting the report, we definitely want the vice chair to help us move that along based on all the conversation. But we'll be keeping minutes. We are recording this, so we'll have all the minutes, we'll have the conversations, and then to have that done and for the entire group to take a look at. Just off the cuff, that's what is jumping to mind, Jonathan, since you asked the question.
Okay.
So we have two.
Okay, I'm willing to nominate myself.
Okay, all right. We equally have Ellen.
Unless Ellen wants.
I'll defer. I'll defer to Jonathan. That's fine.
All right. All right. So so Jonathan, you will be the vice chair, and the main charge will be really to help us craft the recommendation that is going to be discussed as we move along, and then we definitely have members. It's not just going to be you. We're going to have members, and I know Ellen has helped out in a few other areas, so I'm sure she'll be willing to join in helping craft it. But we welcome all members. We are not that large. It's only 7 voting members, so it's easy to for us to review when we get there to chime in.
Okay.
All right. So the next item I have is kind of scheduling. I'm planning for the next meeting, and I think Brooke already chimed in. I think, like you said, Brooke, you asked a question. The key here is that how are we scheduling and what do we need to see? So for next meeting, unfortunately, I think I mentioned that earlier, we can't meet next week. So the next meeting will be August 19th, same time. And after that, we hope to meet weekly. And if we don't need a meeting, we can always.
Did you say?
Go ahead.
Did you say August 12th?
No, 19th.
19th.
Okay, I cannot come on the 19th. I'm on vacation.
Oh, okay. Oh. All right.
It's the only. I'm traveling. I'll be in the air. I won't be able to make it.
Okay.
And you can go without me, and I'll just send me to the minutes, and I'll catch up.
All right. What we intend to do too is that we are going to have the materials. We'll try to have them ready, say Monday, the 17th, for members to review. And of course, if you review them and you have questions, you can just send them my way, and I will make sure I share them. Questions on some of the presentations, and I think that's hopefully what we'll spend our time on the next meeting, just sharing what we have so that the committee, the commission can look at the entire tax credits that the county offers, and then with detailed presentation on these 3. And so we can look at that, and then budget office will present some numbers in terms of revenue. That way we know what these tax credits are, the impact it has on our budget. And I think those two, will help set the stage for the committee to start looking at especially these three credits. So,
Okay.
but of course, if there's anything that the committee wants to see, and I think we started with that. Ophelia asked some questions, and I think Fran, you asked some other stuff too that we want to try and put together. I think one of them was the original intent. So hopefully next week we can start putting those together, and we have the materials in there in our SharePoint, and then from inception to date, what we have, and those who were not who didn't qualify, that were deemed ineligible. We want to see that population so we know, so we can track those, so we know who we are really folks that are not getting it. And the next point ties to what we're talking about now is that we've actually created a SharePoint that we're going to grant access to the committee members. We created it today, so we're going to grant access to all the committee members so you can see the materials in there. And then we're going to set up the weekly meetings. We're going to put materials in the weekly meetings so you don't have to be looking at the entire materials that are in the SharePoint, so you can focus on the very next meeting. So we're going to create that, and then you also have access tomorrow as we walk through creating the weekly SharePoint folders for all the materials to go in. So you can just look at the next meeting and you can see all the materials in there. The goal is to have them there at least 3 days before the meeting. If we can do it sooner, we definitely will. But we'll try and put the information minimum 3 days before the meeting, so to allow members of the committee or the commission to review and prepare for discussion.
Okay.
Any questions, concerns so far?
Now, will
Rafu, sorry.
Ellen, go ahead,
ahead.
and after you, Jonathan.
Okay, I just want, can I assume that we're going to get invites, calendar invites, so that we'll have the full schedule of those meetings mapped on our calendars, so we can resolve any potential conflicts, because we didn't know until like that Wednesday was select, so just to make sure that we're all clear, since we're missing one next week, and we're going just to make sure that all of our calendars are updated, and that means if anything has to change, we know the direction will come from you, and we don't have to worry about it. Just wanted to check.
No, thank you. That's great. Yes, we will do that. So we're going to send the meeting now. We have Patrick and Marcella, so please let's get all of that. Since we're going to have the meeting, just make sure the way we set it up today, let's try and do all of the meetings now, schedule them. If we don't need one, we can cancel. So we'll get all of that done and sent out. Yes. Jonathan?
Yes, sir. And will you be sending copies of the slides that you used tonight, which I couldn't see, and then when will you be giving us the access for SharePoint?
You should have access tomorrow. We'll send an email once access has been granted, so you all know you have access now with the link to get there. So that will make it a little bit easier. So you're going to get an email.
I just want. Okay. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You can finish. No, I was just asking. And I just wanted to make sure that the next meeting for this commission is on the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's on the 19th. Yes.
Okay.
So we'll schedule all of the meetings for all of them, and then we'll send. Once we grant you access, you get an email. And then you can just click on the link and you can save it wherever you need to, but you should be able to have access to it. And then once materials are ready, I think we'll equally send out a quick email saying the materials for the next meetings are now available. So you get that as well. We're going to do everything we can to give you all the information ahead and by letting you know. We appreciate you all doing this, and so we shouldn't make you look for the information. We should be providing it to you.
Okay,
Matthew,
thank you.
quick question. If there are additional data points that I think may be helpful to the group in our decision making, should I just send an email to you and then we can ask to get
Yes.
those data points? Okay.
Yes, and I
Thank
think
you.
as we're looking at this now, Ophelia, Fran, I'll get back to you quickly. Ophelia, what you're saying is that you're going to be providing quite a good, valuable information to us because you know the aging population in our county very well. And Lisa, you two will be providing very valuable information to us in terms of our veterans. So we need those information. So if you have information that will be useful to the conversation we're having, we certainly will welcome them. And if you have presentations as well, let us know and we'll find time for you. Make sure that it's part of the conversation so you can present so people know the population. Thank you. Fran?
I think I was in the same vein as she was. I'm wondering if finance can do what if scenarios for us.
Sure. We've done quite a few of that during our aging in place because that seems to be what's happening every year. So we've done quite a few what if scenarios. So we certainly can look at that. So as we present the next meeting when we make those presentations, and Ophelia, you and Lisa, if you have presentations, let us know. So what we're trying to do is to have the presentations ahead before we start our conversation so we can hear what our folks really think, the impact it has, and then we begin to do what if scenarios as the commission request or require, just to see, okay, can we model this? What does this mean? What impact would this have? We can do that in our conversation. So yes, it's something that we certainly will welcome and we want to do. We want to provide as much information to have a holistic conversation about this discussion so that our recommendations should be based on facts and what impact it's going to have on the county as a whole. Any other questions, comment? This is all we planned. I planned for us to share today. We were not trying to have a full conversation, but it's pretty much to welcome everybody and thank you for volunteering to serve on this commission. It's an important task because one, this is to address aging population. I think there are, like I say it all the time, is that this population are the folks who have done a lot in the county. They've lived here, they paid their dues, they've raised their kids, and now we need to find ways that we can to support them. We are happy that everybody's not retiring and moving to Florida, so we want to keep our folks here, and I think the county executive has done a good job of making sure that our 50-plus centers are thriving and to make sure that we're catering for them. We are an aging population in Howard County now, and so we want to make sure that we are responsible and we are doing the right thing by them. And this is one way of making sure that while we're doing that, we don't break the bank. And I think that's really what this all is supposed to be doing. People know that we are not ignoring any sector of any age group of our population, but at the same time, that we are taking care of everybody and spending the county's dollars prudently.
And Rafu, in that line, the fact that 1 in 5 of our population will be over 65 by 2030, that's something that we have to keep in mind as we're looking at the impact, but also that this is a growing population that is going to live longer and have an impact for longer. since this next generation and half are expected to live to 100. So it's looking at a scope that's different than when some of this legislation was started or some of these things were looked at. So I appreciate that we're going to have the opportunity to do that and pull in, the budget implications as well as the support and the delivery of services pieces.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. You're right. And we need to start looking at that, because it's easy to just say, hey, let's keep extending, let's do this. And then 10 years from now, I think Brooke mentioned, they're like, okay, why are we doing this? I think Fran mentioned the intent is completely lost, because they're like, come on, didn't you all see this happening? That we have data to prove that we are aging, and if we're giving all the credits away, how are you going to equally build schools, roads, rec and parks that all of us need? So it's looking at all of that holistically that I think is really critical to how we administer our tax credits.
And not to forget that as a growing aging population will have more needs itself for services from the county, and recognize what that means as that grows and as the intensity changes, so yeah, I think it's really good that we're looking at this. So
Honestly, I didn't pay her to say those things.
no, you did not.
Thank you so much, Ellen. I appreciate it.
No, I mean, and that's why it's so important that we look comprehensively and not just talk about them in isolation, because none of these things exist in a box. And it's something that when we tend to concentrate on something, sometimes we forget all the other aspects of it. But spending affordability spends a lot of time talking about this. I'm just
Yes. Yeah. And I think this is the way to look at it. And I think this is why the county executive has set up this commission. Dr. Boss saw the insight that, hey, we can keep just making changes one after the other to one bill, but we have not really looked at it, and we don't know the impact. It just, we are catering to one sector of our community, which is fair. We should, but we should look at it holistically so we know, are we doing it the right way, or are there improvements that is needed? And I think that's why I'm appreciated to serve alongside you on this commission. That we do was hopefully our recommendations will be well received, and we find ways that we know Dr. Ball will be leaving office in December, but hopefully our report will be so great that the new administration will welcome it with open arms. And so,
but it's also true, Rafu, that you don't want to set an expectation for something that can't be delivered. What you want to be is honest in looking at what this really entails and how we can most effectively leverage what we have in order to deliver the services that will be necessary and will make it possible for people to stay in the county and be supported and encouraged in continuing to participate in the life of the county. So cool.
Yeah. Good point.
So yes, I know we are streaming this on our YouTube, the county's YouTube channel. So what I will encourage for those who are watching or who are going to stream it later, if you have ideas of how we think we can improve on that, just send it our way, and we'll take all recommendations, and it will help in our deliberation, because we want this to be kind of a community conversation, and then so that our recommendation would address all the concerns that we've had. All right. I don't have anything else. So now we'll send, I think the deliverable from us will be granting access to the commission members tomorrow.
Yes.
And then the meetings for the next subsequent meetings will be scheduled and sent to everyone. I think those are the two main ones. And of course, there will be presentation at the next meeting, which is August 19th, 2026. And there will be two presentations so far. But Ophelia, if you have something you want to present as well and you want to join, we'll try and make it short and sweet. We can always present anytime. But the goal is to talk about all the tax credits that we have. We'll present all the tax credits, the number of years that we've had them, and how many people are receiving it, and the financial impact on the county. And then we'll delve into the three main ones that we are going to be making recommendations on. And then budget will equally present the kind of a budgetary impact on this tax credit. And if not for the tax credit, this is how much we'll have, stuff like that. And they'll present that too. Those will be the main two presentations next week. We hope that we can cover both within the hour, and then we'll leave some room for, of course, Q&A. And then next meeting, we can, if we have questions, we can always go back and ask questions as we start deliberations. Then, as a committee, all the information you've requested, we'll try and pull some of that together, like the intent of these, the current legislations we have, certainly this in reference to these main three, and then the data of those who were deemed ineligible and did not get the credit. We want to know that population as well. So just please send your questions our way. You can send them directly to me. That is fine, and we'll make sure we put it together. We have a team that is going to be helping us pull all of this together as well. So if there's nothing else,
I think officially just need a motion to close.
I move that we close the meeting.
I second.
I will second that.
Thank you.
No one has ever objected to closure. I'm just letting you know.
that is true. So hearing no objections, we can adjourn. Thank you all so much, and thank you for serving.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
All right, thank you. Bye.